Hello, testing.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la once more. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's wonderful to see you here on this Independence Day weekend, and we invite you all to take a moment to rise and greet the people around you and wish them a Shabbat Shalom, a special welcome to our newest rabbi, Joanne Loibin.
Oh
to find a way back to your seats as we settle down and get ready to kindle the lights of Shabbat. So let's just take a moment to breathe in and breathe out all the stresses, worries, rushes of the week behind us. And one more time, breathe in peace and friendship and let go. And now it's my great pleasure to invite up Sharon and Al to kindle the lights of Shabbat as we turn to page 2 in our prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And we turn now to page 4 for the introduction to the Kiddush.
And there was evening, and there was morning, and the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron, lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah, lemikra'e kodesh, zeher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
So we have a reading that I want to share with you before we break into song. And it's a reading that plays with one of the themes of this week's Torah portion, about personal authority and personal autonomy. It's a Hasidic reading. Reb Shmelki of Nikolsburg, that's the only place you'll get a name like Reb Shmelki. The Talmud tells us that if all the world were to repent, the Messiah would come. Knowing this, I decided to do something about it. Where to begin? The world? It was too large and I was too small. So I thought, let me start with my own country. That too proved too much for me. My own town? I failed there as well. My neighborhood, my own family, even there I did not succeed. Never mind, I thought, I shall work on myself. With oneself, one reaches the incredible, irreducible minimum. We can each begin with ourselves. We continue now in song on page 16.
Zamru Adonai, Zamru Adonai Bechinor, Yai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai. Lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Oh, lai, 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 Zamru Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor Bechol Zimra, Bechatzot Shmok, Bechol Shofar, Habiyu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai. Oh, lai, 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 lai.
We continue in song, Welcoming the Sabbath Bride, page 20, Lecha Dodi.
Ya la 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 la, lecha dodi. Ya la 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 la, likrat kala. Ya la 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 la, penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabel. Ya la 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 la, lecha dodi. Ya la 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 la, likrat kala. Ya la 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 la, penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabel.
Shamor v'zachor והגיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשאול תפארת ולתהילה. לה לך אדוני, לה לקראת כלה, לה בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו נלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נצוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. יאללה לך אדוני, יאללה לקראת כלה, יאללה בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, כי בעורק קומי אורי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. יאללה לך אדוני, יאללה לקראת כלה, יאללה בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת עלה, גם לשמחה ושולה, תוך אמונך עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. יאללה לקראת כלה, יאללה בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל. יאללה לך דודי, יאללה לקראת כלה, יאללה בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל.
We turn to page 28 for the call to worship. There is one, there is one, there is one, there is one. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself.
There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people.
There is one, there is one, there is one, there is one. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. Together, and there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai, lai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, lai.
Page 30, we praise the God who is creator together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv HaRavim.
As we turn to page 34 for the watchword of our faith, the words of Shema, we think about the parashah of this week, Korach, which is all about themes of rebellion, of authority, of disharmony. And we'll be hearing more about that later in the service from Rabbi Loiben. This prayer, the Shema, instead speaks of harmony and unity. We think of Adonai Echad, God is one, that we are all interconnected through God to each other. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. You may be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta baham, b'shivtecha beveitecha, uvelechtecha vaderech, uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha, ukeshartam leod al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohechem emet.
We're going to turn to page 40 for the words of Mi Chamocha, and as we do, we reflect upon our own Yom HaAtzmaut, our Independence Day that we celebrated yesterday on July 4th. And we think about all of those who have fought so mightily for our freedom. And we thank God for that freedom. Mi Chamocha.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee. and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 ya, lai, la, lai, 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 la, 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 yai, la, 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, norah tehi lo Nora tehi loro sefele Mahutecha rahuvanecha Okeyoyam livnei Moshe uMiriam Ze'elianu ve'amru Ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam
We turn now to page 48. I invite you, if you're able, to please rise for the Amidah. And this evening, we will recite these prayers silently, whether they are the prayers in your book or the prayers of your heart. And as you complete your prayers, please feel free to be seated.
This evening, we have the blessing, a double blessing, to have another cantor in our midst. I call up my wonderful friend and colleague, Cantor Jason Kaufman from Bethel Hebrew Congregation, Alexandria, Virginia. I have seen him twice out of town recently. We sang together at the Consultation of Conscience Convention recently in Washington, and just saw him last week, and I knew he was coming in, which he'll share a little bit about that with you. And so he sang this beautiful piece at the Cantors Convention, and I really wanted him to sing it for us this evening.
I want to thank Cantor Siegel, the whole rabbinic team, the whole synagogue, for your kind, warm, and loving, generous welcome and invitation for me to join you this evening. I flew in late last night to bear witness at the Homestead Detention Center today, inspired by your clergy, inspired by so many of you who have spent many hours, many days, many years bearing witness. So thank you for the work that you have done. You've inspired me and other people from all across the country to come here and bear witness and follow your lead. I'd like to share with you this evening a song that's really dear to me, and it's dear to my congregation, and it really says everything we need to say about who we are as a country at this moment in time, and I will let the words speak for themselves. Thank you. When I wake up in America, I see my neighbors there with every kind of clothes and shoes, hats and skin and hair, every fine belief and custom, scores of songs from who knows where. When I wake up in America, how stories fill the air. Wake up, wake up, wake up in America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up in America. When I wake up in America, I hold my head up high, and I find my way as others do, beneath the same big sky. I recite the Pledge of Allegiance in a voice both clear and strong. When I wake up in America, I'm right where I belong. Wake up, wake up, wake up in America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up in America. See the kids playing, happily swaying. Good to be staying in this sacred place with every faith and race. When I wake up in America, I put away my fear, and I love my neighbor as myself, and I say, I'm glad you're here. We have found ourselves together in this land we dreamed could be. When we wake up in America, everybody still can be free. Oh, wake up, wake up, please, America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up, when you wake up, when we
wake up, please. America. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Cantor Kaufman, for being here and for bearing witness this morning. You inspire us as well. We will take a moment now to turn our thoughts to those in need of healing, whether of body, mind, or spirit in our community, in our lives. And I'll turn your attention to our program brochures where all the listed names are of those who've called in to add a loved one's name to the Misha Berach. So if you are thinking of someone, I invite you to please rise and say their name. Thank you. Okay, with all of their names and the names in our brochure in mind, we'll sing together the Misha Berach for Healing 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
From Misha Berach, we now have a moment of celebration in our community with celebrating the conversion of Annalisa Machado just this morning, as well as her kids. With her, Israel and Alisi. So I want to invite you now by your Hebrew name, Aliyah, to make Aliyah and to come up for your communal blessing. We were at the ocean this morning for mikveh, and you guys are probably glad that part's over, right? Yeah. You look very nice, and it's so nice to be celebrating together. So, oh God, grant your loving favor to Aliyah, Yisrael, and Chaya. As in this holy place, we welcome them into Jewish life. Knowing well the history of our martyrdom in years past, they've chosen these beautiful names to join themselves to our people's faith. We open our hearts to them. Strengthen Aliyah, Yisrael, and Chaya in their resolve. Help them to live in fidelity to the decision that Aliyah has made and to the promise she is about to utter. May she always find satisfaction and joy in the fulfillment of your sacred mitzvot. Grant them many years of strength and happiness as a worthy member of our congregation. We praise you, O God, in whose presence is the fullness of joy. And we say together, Amen. So I have just 6 questions for you, to which the answer is yes, as we affirm your Jewish identity and commitment to the community. Do you choose to enter the eternal covenant between God and the people Israel and to become a Jew of your own free will?
Yes.
Do you accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religious faiths and practices?
Yes.
Do you pledge your loyalty to Judaism and to the Jewish people under all circumstances?
Yes.
Do you promise to establish a Jewish home and to participate actively in the life of the synagogue and the Jewish community?
Yes.
Do you commit yourself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge?
Yes.
And as you are blessed with children, do you promise to raise them as Jews and any future children as Jews?
Yes.
Wonderful. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you to just read this excerpt from the book of Ruth, right here.
Entreat me not.
Ruth said. Yeah.
Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave you, or return from following after you. Or wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried."
Okay. So, and your name Aliyah, as we said, means to ascend or to elevate. And so I want to bless you and you and you to continue to elevate us, to elevate the Jewish people, to elevate the world that is so broken and in so need of healing. Together we will say the blessing of the Birkat Kohanim as we take the Torah out of the ark. So I want to invite all our clergy to join me here on the bima and to come up here. And let's rise as the Torah is open. Torah represents the inheritance of our people. It's been with us every point in our 4,000-year history, and it now will be part of your life as we place it in your arms. And so before we say the blessing, let's say, why don't you say the Shema for the first time as a Jew before us. So you guys want to join your mom in saying the Shema? Okay, that's good. They want to help. Okay, so let's say the Shema together. Ready?
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Amen. Beautiful. 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 Okay, so we bless you with these ancient words from our tradition.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yahir Adonai panav elecha v'kuneka.
May God's light shine towards you and show you kindness and favor.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May the presence of God be with you always and establish for you peace, shalom, wholeness.
Amen. Simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova, yehelanu. Simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova, mazel tova, simen tova,
Please remain standing here with us, and in honor of the theme of tonight, as Cantor Kaufman said, having been at Homestead today, we are also celebrating July 4th, and so this is a moment of Shehecheyanu. I want to invite you in the the spirit of more patriotism, perhaps, than nationalism with Independence Day. We're already standing, so let's just raise our hands. If you've done something this summer that you think has improved the life of one person in our country or has made a difference, perhaps, in the life of our country in some way. And raise your hand now if you intend sometime this summer still to come, if you also plan to do this. Wonderful. So together, put our arms around each other where we are and say the words of Shachianu together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We remain standing for the Aleinu, and I'm going to call up Max and Sam to help us open the ark. And Israel and Elise, you stay up here and help us to open the ark over here. If there's any other children who I can't see, come on, Abraham. Please come on up as we turn to page 282 for the chanting of, come on over here. Let's open up for the chanting of Aleinu.
L'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tek gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, velo aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We're going to turn now to page 294 for the words of Kaddish. And as we think about all those loved ones who are no longer physically with us but remain part of us eternally, I'll share these words. Not what you possess, but what you do with what you have determines your true worth. And so we think about that worth that was shared with us, with these lives that we've loved and we've lost. And as a community, we think about those who have departed in the last 30 days, whose families remain in the shloshim of their mourning. Lonnie Weinstein, Doris Pardo, Cindy Aronson de Kruif, Kay Peter Wagner, Rabbi Richard Levy, Stephen Lee Marco, Harry Suskind, and Gladys Slatkin. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing to all of you who knew them and loved them. And at this time, we also think about all those whose yahrzeits are observed on this Shabbat and whose names have lovingly been inscribed in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Frida Koch Adelsberg, Wolf Albin, Max Applebaum, Ethel Barg, Alex Berger, Charles Berinsky, Marvin Broom, Emmanuel Buckner, Edward Phineas, George Friedwald, Alexander Frisch, Gussie Garfinkel, Ruth Granger, David Green, Kate Greenberg, Julian Groff, Adolf Hirschman, Max Irelson, Helen Jolt, Betty Kessler, Pearl Levinson, Grace Levy, Melanie Mass, Irvin Sonny Neeham, Pauline Noodleman, Harry Platoff, Nathan Reiber, Morris Reese, Donald Rubin, Michael Russin, Seymour Satin, Sylvia Satinsky, Abe Schoenfeld, Jenny Sherman, Henry Siegel, Marilyn Simon, Dora Sluitt, Benjamin Summerstein, Jeffrey Stern, Ronnie Stern, Sophie Weinberg, Betty Miller-Wolf, and Doris Yaffe. And we also recite the names of all those other yard sites that are observed on this Shabbat. We remember George Album, Susanna Alonso, Mayor Atias, George Belkin, Hyman Bernstein, Jean Blum, Edwin Cullen Bowers, Evelyn Glustoff, Mario Iardalevsky, Richard Moser Jones, Melvin Kessler, Mary Levick, Daniel Morris Lipkin, Malka Majerowitz, Jack Marin, Sarah Moutlinger, Alfred Midas, Harry Miller, Janie Miller, Muriel Moraber, Milton Myers, Sadie Nussbaum, Augusta Platt, Joan Gallant-Poldy, Albert Rolter, Leatrice Saporta, Leah Simberg, Saul Stern, Betty Sternfeld, David Sussman, and Louis Zinn. If there's anybody in our congregation that is observing a yort site or in a period of mourning and I did not mention the name, I invite you to please rise and remain standing and share that name with our congregation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We rise as one congregation. Together, we think about the 6 million men, women, and children who perished in the Shoah, who have no one to say Kaddish for them. We think about the hundreds of thousands of American soldiers who died defending our liberties. And finally, we remember the almost 24,000 soldiers who died creating and protecting our Jewish homeland, Israel. And we take them all into our hearts with our own as we recite these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlik malchuteh, b'chayachon v'yomachon v'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'alam l'olmei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to each one of us, to all Israel and all people everywhere, and let us say, amen. You may be seated. We don't have any formal announcements this Shabbat. You know services are 6 o'clock Friday nights. You're here. Torah study is at 9:30 Saturday mornings. 10:30 is Minyan, and on July 12th, which is next Friday night, we are having Shabbat services as usual, but additionally, Rabbi Bear will be leading a Shabbat in Homestead, a bus that will go from here down to Homestead for a national protest, bearing witness, as Cantor Kaufman said, to what's happening in Homestead. So if you want more information about that, please speak to Rabbi Bear tonight. And now it is so my pleasure to invite our newest and youngest rabbi to the Bima. This is her very first Shabbat with us, and so all of you who are here, you are the first to ever hear from her, and I know it's going to be wonderful to have her.
One of my favorite things to do while living in Los Angeles was babysit for my teacher's son, Levi. Like many other 5-year-olds, he wanted to be in charge. He would express this in adorable and respectful ways, of course, but his longing to take the lead was no secret. He just wanted to make the rules. Sometimes he wanted to play with Legos instead of eating lunch. Often his requests were easy enough to appease, and lucky for him, his mom would give him the reins as a treat every once in a while, or at least allow him to believe so. In fact, this year for his birthday, his mom granted him his wish to be in charge for one whole day. It likely does not come as a surprise that humans instinctively want to be in charge. Most people desire to have at least some degree of authority. At first glance, we might ask ourselves, what's so wrong with that? The person in power gets to make decisions, gets to be in control. People look to them for answers. Amazing, right? But people in search of power do not always consider the challenges of leadership. Decisions are not always easy and are certainly not made in a vacuum. When people have authority, they are not the only ones impacted by their decisions. People around them are affected as well. So sure, one could argue that most people want some degree of authority, but those people do not all want the responsibility. It's not nearly as fun to imagine the consequences of their choices and the weight of their influence. This week, the Torah brings us an account of authority in question. Korach, for whom the Parsha is named, has angrily riled up a mob to challenge Moses. Moses, the leader of the Israelites since they left Egypt, has a direct line of communication to God. It's not clear if Korach wants this holy connection or if he wants to have some of Moses' undisputed authority. Back in the book of Exodus, we learned that everyone in the Israelite community is holy. Korach believes that this holiness entitles everyone, especially himself, to some degree of power and authority over the community. And it does not look like he wants to share this power with Moses. Instead, he sees Moses as corrupt and therefore plans to overthrow him, using the premise of God's sanctification of the entire community as proof for his entitlement to power. He initiates a rebellion. His rebellion incensed God, and God retaliated against Korach and his band. Despite Moses' attempt to plead on behalf of these rebels, even though they tried to overthrow him, God's rage caused the earth to open up and swallow all of them whole. In trying to understand this difficult story, I wonder what Korach's plans were had he succeeded in this conquest. Did he have the same understanding of power as a young boy, like Levi, for whom I babysat? Then I think about Moses, who had the authority, and the devastating results he had to bear, showing that this role is rather difficult. Korach was not really thinking about the flip side of the coin. He was power hungry, but he did not understand the weight of what he was after. The one who had the power had to watch as his people perished. This is quite an extreme example, of course, but the Torah leaves us with this story to contemplate the position of power in our lives. As I've just argued that having a sense of authority is something people want but don't always think about the repercussions, it leaves me to think about this new role that I've entered, becoming a new rabbi. A few months ago, I experienced the ceremony that changed my status from student to rabbi. Ordination Day was something I had been looking towards for so long. From the first moment I dreamed about becoming a rabbi, through the journey to actually deciding to enter into rabbinical school, I imagine that far out future date, the day someone would lay their hands on my head and pass on this ancient, rich, beautiful tradition to lead the community. After the ritual had taken place and the ceremony came to a close, my fellow rabbis and I looked at each other. The same big expression in our eyes that matched the feelings in our heart. One of us blurted out, "What did we just do?" What did we just do? I understood that from that moment on, for the rest of our lives, people would look to us as rabbis. People will understand us to have been vested with an authority for leadership. You could imagine this idea to be overwhelming, and you wouldn't be wrong. You could imagine, however, my vision of leadership is about empowering rather than being in power. I believe we can learn a lot from the story of Moses and Korach. Perhaps Moses did have a fear of sharing his responsibilities and allowing for the voices of the collective. Certainly, Korach could have tried to converse with Moses rather than collaborate against him. But my vision is different from that of both Korach and Moses. My vision is based in community, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you tonight, to be able to create the connections with you all. I appreciate being welcomed into such a vibrant community that uses a model of building and creating together for the greater good of everyone. I believe in empowering young, which is why I'm especially excited to work with the youth, the future leaders and current leaders within our community. I look forward to guiding them towards taking ownership of our tradition and understanding that authority works best when shared. While the story of Korach is a difficult one, we are reminded every year of its lessons. Craving power is dangerous. Conversation and collaboration take a community to heights much greater than individuals yearning to take charge. And perhaps one of Korach's most significant points, God bestowed holiness upon each and every individual. Within each of us is great holiness. I believe a community has endless potential when a multitude of individuals are honored, and I am honored to be entering into such a community. It is my blessing on this Shabbat that we take a moment and remember the ways in which we all embody holiness. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. We look forward to sharing power with you for many, many years to come. Thank you, Rabbi. So on this wonderful Shabbat that we have come together to worship and pray and celebrate, we are going to conclude our service in song with the singing of God Bless America on page 376. I invite you to please rise if you're able so that we can all share together.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.